Tehran is currently facing a fresh round of political tension, with internal disagreements rising to the surface among the country's top leadership. At the center of the debate is President Pezeshkian, whose recent positions have led to strong pushback from key conservative lawmakers. Some accuse him of steering the country in a direction that clashes with the long-standing ideological framework of the Islamic Republic. While allegations of a coup attempt are unsubstantiated, public remarks by certain members of parliament have highlighted a growing ideological rift. One prominent lawmaker suggested that the president seeks to move Iran toward normalization of relations with Western nations, including the United States and Israel, an idea that remains highly controversial in Iran's conservative political establishment. The disagreement is not entirely new. Earlier this year, President Pezeshkian openly criticized the stance of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on negotiations with the West. The president had pushed for the revival of nuclear talks with Washington in the hopes of easing sanctions and improving the Iranian economy. However, Khamenei rejected such overtures, calling them unwise and inconsistent with Iran's long-term strategic vision. This public divergence marked a rare instance of open disagreement between the executive branch and the country's highest authority. The president's willingness to challenge established positions, though popular with reformist segments of the population, has provoked backlash among conservatives who view such moves as undermining the principles of the Islamic Revolution. Over 30 members of parliament have reportedly considered initiating impeachment proceedings unless President Pezeshkian changes course. However, internal resistance to this approach is also emerging. Former senior officials, including the acting president who succeeded Ebrahim Raisi after his death, have urged restraint and unity during a period of mounting external pressures. Some analysts argue that these political struggles may not be entirely domestic in origin. Given the timing and nature of the accusations, questions are being raised about possible external influences seeking to deepen Iran's internal divisions. While there is no direct evidence pointing to foreign involvement, the geopolitical context makes such speculation difficult to ignore. Iran has long accused Western powers of attempting to destabilize its leadership through indirect means. At the heart of the issue is a broader debate about Iran's future direction. Reformist figures like President Pezeshkian advocate for diplomatic engagement and international cooperation, believing that isolation harms Iran's economic prospects. Conservatives, meanwhile, emphasize resistance, sovereignty, and adherence to ideological principles. These opposing views have shaped the country's politics for decades but appear now to be reaching a new level of confrontation. Despite the friction, there remains a strong current within Iran's leadership advocating for national cohesion. Several prominent voices, including past government spokespeople, have warned against allowing political disagreements to evolve into deeper fractures. They stress that Iran must prioritize internal stability over factional disputes, especially in light of ongoing regional conflicts and external threats. What comes next is uncertain. The parliamentary push to challenge the president may intensify, or it may recede in the face of calls for unity. What is clear, however, is that Iran is entering a sensitive phase in its political evolution, where leadership decisions could have long-term implications for its role both at home and abroad. As the situation continues to evolve, international observers are closely watching how Iran navigates this moment, balancing domestic demands with geopolitical realities, and determining whether cooperation or confrontation will define its future trajectory.